Hello, my name is Stuart Tan and I'm from InternetMarketingSingapore.com. Warmly welcome you to Ken McArthur's blog. Wow, I'm on the blog. Now, the funny thing is, when I was at JV Alert Live in Orlando, I managed to meet up with Ken and he suggested to me that I should be one of those who actually creates a video. And I was supposed to come up with a content video of, well, at least 5 minutes. But I decided to go the full route. Why? Because Ken is the nicest guy on the internet, right? So let me just do this one thing. What does it take for you to create a massive amount of impact in the world? Let's start off with a little story. When I first began in my own personal career, I started off with 115 people in a seminar room, and I drove the crowd crazy. Now, probably interesting for you to note that I did that when I was 20 years old. I'm currently 34 years old and you probably can't see that, but I've been doing training for the last 15 years of my life. Now at the same time, I do recognize that many people have different talents in different areas, so I don't expect you to become a speaker, but I expect you to understand that my story began a long time ago when I was 5 years old. And I was driven to the brink of just keeping quiet in class because I was always being made fun of. You know, largely because of my name. And in the Asian culture, you don't expect anyone with the name Stuart, right? So one of the things that I discovered was I became a little shyer. I became a little bit more withdrawn. And it was difficult for me to actually reach out and interact with anyone else in my class. And what was difficult was I found that later on in life, that created for me a very negative habit. And unfortunately, it wasn't good for me because I ended up in leadership positions where I was expected to interact with people, but I just couldn't. Now, I just want you to remember one thing, that is, your past determines who you are right now. So in order for you to be able to determine who you can be, you need to change who you are right now. At the present moment, I run an extremely awe-inspiring business that generates well over $17 million every single year. We have a couple of partners and these guys are awesome to work with. Okay, my business partners are one of the biggest reasons why we have been able to stay together. And if it's not for anything else, we've gone through many tough times. We've gone through seriously terrible moments in our lives. And if you happen to be at JV Alert Live, I'll share these things with you. But one of the things that happened with me was when I was starting out in my business, I didn't have this opportunity to work with such great partners, but I still had one thing that I think every single one of you ought to have, which is a purposed passion. Now, in order for you to have that kind of inspired passion, it's not easy to just open up a textbook and say, okay, that's my passion. You know, you really need to feel it from deep inside. And the trouble with most people is they do not have that passion because they've not been modeling after people. Now, how many role models do you have on the internet? How many role models do you have in your business? Now, for me, I'll be safe to say that I've got hundreds of them, and they are some of the top internet marketers. Some of them are local entrepreneurs here in Singapore, in Asia, whom I've met up with and have a real strong passion for business. Now, personally, I feel that it's really important for someone like yourself to determine your future. And if you don't have a compass, it's going to be difficult for you to move in the direction you want. Now, likewise, if you don't have a passion, it's going to be difficult for you to have a vehicle to move you to the kind of dream lifestyle that you're expecting. I mean, I'm very sure you have a dream, and the only way for you to reach that dream is to make sure that you build your capacity out of your passion. Now, you may not have the capacity yet, but when you begin following other people and you figure out what someone is doing, what kind of system that someone is doing. For instance, take a look at Ken. Ken has got the impact factor, and in my opinion, it's one of the most brilliantly thought out products that I've come across. And you know, we've chatted at length about the Impact Factor book, and I think all of you should grab a copy of it. Now, one of the things that I've realized about that is Once you know where you need to go, then you can determine what kind of resources you want. And those resources will then help you develop some kind of capacity. In other words, if you don't know where you need to go, there's no way you're going to become better in order to get there. I'm not sure whether you understand how profound and how powerful this is, because knowing where you go is the basic building block of anyone's talents, skills, and capacity. Now, the more you execute your skills and capacity, guess what? You're going to be seen as a leader. You're going to be seen as a credible expert. And because of that, that capacity over there is going to build and blossom your profile. And you're going to be more and more credible. You're going to be more and more prominent to a point where it just feeds off itself. I mean, take a look at people who own a list. In order for people to own a list, they need to solve a problem first, don't they? Once they solve a problem, or at least they're in search of solving that problem, what happens is that they build the capacity to reach out to people, to connect with them, to be able to establish some kind of trust and credibility with them by giving out content. And guess what? People buy. The moment they've got this capacity and people buy, what do they get? They get rave reviews. And because of those rave reviews, they become even better, because it then hits them like a ton of bricks that what they've been doing has fulfilled their purpose. And that's what I wish for everyone on this blog, that the moment you discover your own personal inspired purpose, that is going to get you going on that learning journey. I spoke with Mike Mers, the very, very prominent JV broker and a very, very great guy indeed, who said that, everyone needs to have the ability to learn. And from your purpose, knowing where you need to go, your direction, your learning, is going to help you develop that capacity. So how exactly do you learn? You head down to this website that I created called credibilitysecrets.com. Just head down there. I've got some useful content about how you can establish your credibility, and learning capabilities fall under one of those elements, because if you are able to rapidly increase your capacity, guess what? All your competitors are going to bite your dust. When you get to that stage, you're going to find yourself having such a high competitive advantage that you are going to command your market much more easily than your competitors. See? So, just head down there. I believe that everyone can learn from anyone, and I know that if you're on credibilitysecrets.com, just register your name and your email address, and I'll be on teleseminars with you guys. Okay? Presently, my business is flourishing. We are in 7 major countries in Asia. India, China, we are in. Vietnam, Thailand, we just set up this year. Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, which are our 3 largest markets to date. And we're going to continue this expansion and this rampage in Asia, and I'd like some of you to be a part of it. If you happen to be in JV Alert in Philadelphia, June 6th to 8th in Philadelphia, have a conversation with me. We'd like to chat about how you too can leverage our expertise in Asia and help you to build up that kind of a momentum so that you can literally blossom, right? You're in Asia. Even if you're not physically present here, you might be able to do a number of different things with us in Asia. And as you notice, the only way in which I could have actually said that and to suggest that we could have some kind of a joint venture relationship is because we have discovered what our purpose is. Do you know what it feels like for 115 people in an 8-hour non-stop workshop to be standing with applause for you? That's where I was. And you have to remember, a long time ago I was hiding behind a desk, thinking that I was too shy and too introverted to share anything with anyone. And right now, it's been 15 years developing this competence and being able to speak and share and touch the lives of people who are around me. And I can tell you that empowering the lives of the people around me has become my singular, most important purpose in life. And that's the thing, being able to reach out to people and to care for them so that they know that there's someone out there who believes in them. You see, our mission in our company is about empowering lives and designing destinies. We do this in many media, on the radio talk shows that we do, on television, on the internet right now, in seminars, where people are so deeply touched by the content that we have, by the things that we do, and the way in which we walk our talk. And that's what gets them to think, if they can do it, so can we. And you know what? The message just spreads like wildfire. And what is credibility? Credibility begins with having a purpose, and an unflinching purpose, such that you're walking your talk and you're moving in the direction that enables people to believe in what you do, to believe in the mission that you're after. So I believe that what I've shared has kind of given you an insight into what I do. I model after people. I happen to be someone who goes out and models after people in a very specific way, utilizing a modeling procedure known as Neuro linguistic programming. Some of you may have heard about it, some of you may not have heard about it. Come and listen to me in Philadelphia if you have the opportunity. Speak to Ken about it. One of the things is establishing partnerships. You cannot establish strong partnerships if you don't know what you're doing, and if you don't have any credibility, or worse still, your partners need to tell you what to do and you don't even have a clear purpose. Everything stems from the credibility secrets in this triangle, in this cycle of results that you can create as well. So I hope that this has benefited you. I know it's literally impossible for me to share everything that I can with you. I urge you to take a look at Ken's impact factor, because he himself has a very solid system in which he creates impact in the world. And if you are listening to me right now, it's probably because Ken McArthur has touched your life in some way or other. Perhaps it's time for you to take a look at where you can contribute to the growth and increasing the value of your presence on this planet, and therefore touch the lives of many, many, many of the different people. A great friend of mine, John Delamy, once said, "Don't make a dollar, don't make money. Make a difference, and you'll earn the right to establish that kind of income from anyone whom you come across." So here's Stuart Tan from Internet Marketing Singapore. We're on a small, tiny little island down in Southeast Asia, but we're making waves because we believe that impact can be created powerfully, and it can be impacted through your voice in this very, very big and noisy world called the Internet. And I urge every single one of you to be a part of Kenneth McArthur's Impact Factor book launch. Take a look at his book, grab yourself a copy, because I know that somewhere deep inside of each and every one of you is a child wishing that that dream has come true. Don't just let it be a dream. Don't let it remain a dream. Make it come true. Take that first step. Thank you very much.